What up, world? We're 18 back at it again. Welcome to the episode. Today we're talking about two consoles that were packed with classics but couldn't survive the console wars. The TurboGrafx-16 and the Sega Dreamcast. From Bonk's Adventures to NBA 2K, these systems had legendary games that deserved their flowers. I had both of these systems. I got the TurboGrafx-16 on a whim. My mom went to a strip mall and they had it. Nobody in my class had it either. I was the only one with a fucking TurboGrafx-16 when it came out at the time. And a Dreamcast, I bought it when I was in the military. My first system that I bought on my own. No, it's not. The second system that I bought on my own. And it was an amazing system. I used to play that shit all the time. Let's get into this video. I love talking about shit like this. Let's go. The TurboGrafx-16 dropped in 1989, marketed as the first 16-bit console. While it struggled in the US, it still had a handful of games that defined its short life. So I got the TurboGrafx-16 well after 1989. I had the Sega Genesis already, the Super Nintendo, and of course the regular Nintendo. So I got off a whim. So my mom went to a flea market one day and she saw it, the TurboGrafx-16. It was like $35 or some shit. And she was like, I think the kids will like this. So she bought it. She brought it home. And I was like, oh shit, I was not expecting it at all. And it was fun. I liked it. It wasn't like the Sega Genesis or the Super Nintendo. It's a totally different thing. So the pack-in title was Keep Courage in Alpha Zone. Not exactly the Mario killer NEC was hoping for. It mixed platforming with mech combat. And while it looked different, it wasn't strong enough to compete with Nintendo's icons. So, Keep Courage was a good game. I enjoyed playing. It was the only game I had for a long time. I enjoyed playing the game. I thought it was really cool. It was different. You can change into into a mech suit, and you play as a character also. It was a really good game for its time. I really enjoyed it. Then came Bonk's Adventure, the real mascot for the system. A caveman with a giant head who headbutted enemies into oblivion. It was quirky, colorful, and fun. The sequel, Bonk's Revenge, built on that with better levels and sharper gameplay. Bonk was supposed to be TurboGrafx Sonic or Mario. He was fun, but he just never hit the same cultural level. So these were the second games that I got, second and third game. I got them both at the same time. A friend of mine, for some reason, had Bonk's Adventures and Bonk's Revenge, and he sold them to me for $10. Both of the games, $10. I played the shit out of both of those games. They were so fucking fun. I even remember the commercials. They did have TurboGrafx-16 commercials back in the day. And Bonk's Adventures and Bonk's Revenge, I remember those commercials on TV.
TurboGrafx-16 is about to knock video games back into the Stone Age. It's 10,000 years ago. You're a cave dude. You are carnivorous. You've got to bonk 28 stages of prehistoric bad guys to rescue your excellent-looking princess. And you've only got one weapon. Bonk's Adventure, only on the TurboGrafx-16 system.
And they were real good games. They could not compete with Mario or Sonic, but they were real good games. Everybody was trying to make their own mascot at the time. Bonk was supposed to be their mascot. He just didn't hit like the rest of them. I don't know why, because he was super colorful, super funny. The actions they had him on the screen were funny when he got hit and shit. When when his head blew up, when he got mad or whatever. All that shit was cool. It just didn't hit with kids back then. But it was still a good game. I enjoyed playing it. Lastly, the game that really set the TurboGrafx apart, Splatterhouse. This was pure arcade horror. You played as Rick, a dude in a hockey mask, bashing monsters and side-scrolling gore fest. Parents hated it. Teens loved it. It was the Mortal Kombat before Mortal Kombat. This was a super good game. I had this game. Only had those 4 games. Keith Courage, both Bonks, and this game. Those are the only games in my TurboGrafx collection. Because those games was hard to find. This was a really good game. This fucking game was amazing. First of all, it had blood and shit before any games had it. It's super iconic, super gory. Kids loved it just because of that. I thought it would make this system sell more, and it didn't. But the people who had it knew it was a great game. They just couldn't sell the system.
So, you want to know the story of Splatterhouse, the new horror video game for TurboGrafx-16? They say he stalks the old haunted mansion. They say he's looking for his girlfriend. They say his only weapon against the maggot-eaten ghouls who took her is a 2x4. And you say you want to play this game? Splatterhouse. Only for the TurboGrafx-16 system from NEC.
I thoroughly enjoyed this game. It was so fun. I never even beat the game, actually, to tell you the truth. It was a fucking hard game. But it was still fun to watch, seeing all the blood on the screen for a time when blood was like niche. You didn't really see that. It was an awesome game. And it was the game that set TurboGrafx apart from the other systems, but it still didn't hit. Now let's jump to 1999. Sega's last stand in the console wars, the Dreamcast. A system loaded with creative games that proved Sega still had fight left. I got the Sega Dreamcast when it first came out. It was the second console that I bought on my own. I was 19 years old, living on my own. I was in the Air Force. I needed a new video game system to play. And because the Nintendo 64, I wasn't really into it anymore. So I went to the store and got the Sega Dreamcast with the controller. And I bought the little card that you can see plays on it. And I think the first game I bought was Shenmue. I think. I don't remember. I know that was one of the games that I played a lot. That system was awesome. It was way ahead of its time. With the fucking internet, with the fucking talking online and shit. That shit was amazing. And it sucks that it didn't last long. So, the Dreamcast gave us NBA 2K and NFL 2K. These games didn't just compete, they redefined sports gaming. The graphics were realistic for the time, the gameplay was smooth, and the presentation felt like you were watching TV. NFL 2K especially embarrassed Madden and forced EA to step up. So I had both of these games. I loved NBA 2K because in NBA 2K and NFL 2K, you can download rosters, you can have updated rosters and all this other shit, which was way ahead of its time for back in the day. In the earlier versions of games, you would have had to fucking fill in all the names yourself. But they had the internet shit where you can hook it up, you can plug in your fucking phone line, and you had internet on the fucking game, which really took the game to a next level. 2K was amazing. NFL 2K destroyed Madden. It was the best game in football, and it got Madden and EA so scared that they grabbed up the licenses for years, and they still have the licenses. They won't even let 2K get the license to create a real NFL game. You see what 2K did with NBA. They took over. NBA Live was out the door, and NBA 2K took over, and it's the only basketball game that anybody ever plays.
The Timberwolves 2, the Suns 0.
I was lucky enough to work for 2K for a 5-year stretch. It was the best time of my life. It was probably the best job I ever had in my life. I loved it. While I was there, they were always talking about getting the NFL licenses back, and it still hasn't happened. So they still doing a sports thing. The NBA 2K is still a good game, but they really want NFL back. Then there was Shenmue. This wasn't just a game, it was an experience. A fully explorable world, real-time weather, NPCs with daily schedules. It was basically the blueprint for open world games. The problem, it cost over $40 million to make, which was insane back then. Shenmue was beautiful, but it was also slow. Some gamers loved the realism, others just wanted more action. Still, it's a cult classic today.
Excuse me.
Yes?
What's this nameplate say?
It says Hajima.
Does it?
Well, aren't we brave? You must not know who we are, eh?
I don't care who you think you are. You can't threaten little kids.
So you think you're pretty tough, eh? This little brat just hit my pal in the face with that toy.
I love Shenmue. It was one of my favorite games. I never played part 2, even though they had a part 2, and I think they had a part 3. But I love this game. I loved everything about it. I played this shit for hours. It was so much fun. It was slow, but it was still good. The open world, it was one of those games that was way ahead of its time, like 10 times ahead of its time. Nobody was making games like this, and it was an amazingly beautiful game. It was fun. I ended up beating it. I don't know why I didn't play part 2. I think because it came out years later and I wasn't really into it no more. But when this game initially came out, I was all in on it. The fun side, Dreamcast had NFL Blitz and Ready to Rumble boxing. NFL Blitz was pure arcade chaos, late hits, impossible passes, and over-the-top commentary. And Ready to Rumble, man, that game was a party game. Cartoonist characters, Michael Buffer shouting, "Let's get ready to rumble." It was a guaranteed crowd pleasers. NFL Blitz was amazing. I played this shit all the time. When I was in the military, we had this area that we played video games in when we was at work. And everybody was on NFL Blitz. NFL Blitz was so fucking fun. And the fun thing about that game was it was fast. You could get through a game in like 10 minutes. And then the next person would come on. It was a real good, fun, fast game. And the commentary was amazing. Ready to Rumble. I played the shit out of that game too. That game was hilariously funny. Afro Thunder was my favorite character. I love that game. I never beat it, but it was still a fun game. It was so fun. I never went through the whole game mode or whatever. I was just playing my friends or whatever. It was a real good game, real fun game. I wouldn't be mad if they made another Ready to Rumble game for PlayStation or something. I'd probably pick that shit up. So that's the story of the forgotten consoles, the TurboGrafx-16 and the Sega Dreamcast, packed with gems but overlooked by the masses. Questions for y'all: did y'all ever play these systems? And if so, which game was your favorite? Drop it in the comment. That's gonna do it for the video. Thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed it. These are two of my favorite systems growing up. TurboGrafx more as a little kid. The Dreamcast more as a young adult. They both had great games. Let me know what you think about them. Thank you guys for watching. Remember to like, comment, subscribe, share, and all that good stuff. You could have been on anybody else's channel and decided to give me a couple minutes at a time, so I appreciate it. There's only 24 hours in a day, and you gave me a couple of yours, so I truly appreciate that, and thank you for your time. That's going to do it for the video. Have a good one. I'll get to y'all on the next one. Later.